To stream. Hi everyone. I'm sorry, I completely fucked that up. But anyway, how's everybody today? Hold on. Let me hold on. Show. All right. Okay, so I need to bring up YouTube. So just hold on 1 second. View on YouTube. Hold on just a minute. Continue to YouTube. Okay. Oh, Christ. Okay, so I've got YouTube going. Hold on 1 second. 1 minute. I just have to let that wind up. I don't know. This time of night, my internet just goes horrible. I don't know. It's still winding and winding. So you'll have to hold on there, moderator. Because I can't do it from StreamYard. You have to do it from YouTube. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. All right, hold up 1 minute. Hi, Miss Can't Be Wrong. I see you there. Hang on. All right, give me a now. Add. Okay, let me make sure that's off. Yeah. Okay, so. Okay, I think I did that all right today. Okay, so let's see who's. Hi, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Hi, Brooklyn Bounce. Tommy Agro. Hold on 1 second. Let me get rid of this. It's so distracting when you've got two bloody screens. I can't see what the hell I'm doing. Okay, good. I got rid of that. Oh, God, pounding that pink field. That is so gross. Hi, Mickey. How are you, darling? I'm doing well. Hey, buddy. Maverick and Tracy Tobin. How are you? And is it Rick? Rick? Let me see. I've got to put my glasses on. I can't see for shit. Rick Sixall. Hi, everyone. So we'll give it a few minutes. If anyone's got any questions, well, let a few people get in here. I guess we've got quite a bit to unpack today, if you will. Okay. Well, anyway, Sarah Phillips. Oh, no. Rudy Giuliani's just been found dead. Thank you for letting us know, Sarah. Oh, my God. Josie, it's a line from. Oh, really? Oh, I saw Casino a couple of times. Is that the one with Sharon Stone and them? I don't remember seeing that, but yeah. At first, I thought you meant pounding veal because when I lived in Italy, Nina, who used to live upstairs from me, she taught me how to make. It was called cotoletta milanese. You used to have to pound the veal to like very thin, and then coat it and fry it. I love that. Yeah, I Miss Can't Be Wrong. I've seen her in other people's things saying people have died and whatever. Anyway, so let's get started now. I had to make a few notes. Of course, you know I don't remember shit. So I guess the first question of the day is, who rattled Mob Talk Radio's cage and knocked him off of his perch? Who? Yeah, these are like messages coming in. I don't know if you can hear them or not. I don't think I can turn them off. But anyway, who rattled his cage and knocked him off his perch? Now, he did a, he puts up stuff here and there. And a couple of weeks ago, I think he put one up about friendship, and standing up for friends, etc. And I quite liked that one. I thought, yeah, and it kind of hit home to me a little bit because, people on here really don't do that too much. And you know, that kind of hit home with me. But this one he did yesterday or the day before. I mean, what a load of shit. It's a load of trash. I mean, what the hell are you talking about? Okay, so let's it's so hypocritical, you know, and self-righteous and condescending. I call it an essay. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life for someone who's supposed to have some brains. But anyway, he calls Lee Cole honest about not knowing about the mob. We've all said we don't know anything about the mob. FBS has said it. He's never said he was in the street. He was a mob guy. I've never proclaimed to know anything about the mob. I probably know as much about it as anyone else that reads about it. What do you know about the mob? Yeah, you're some sort of mob historian and you've been looking at it 8 years. But basically, were you in the streets? Were you doing anything? What you're relaying is what you've read. You know, what do you know about it, really? You're relaying what you've read. Well, we can all read and relay shit. You know, Jimmy Calandra, at least he knows about the mob. He was in it. He did it. So whatever he's talking about, he knows what he's talking about, right? You know, anyway, a direct quote from him said, "These are the channels." Oh my gosh, what happened? Oh no, hang on. Oh, I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong button. So he says, this is a direct quote. "These are the channels bash, make fun of people's looks, social situations, background, tape each other's calls, and tell on each other." Wait a minute. Okay, he called Lee honest now. Then he goes on to say that. Okay, Lee just did a video the day before yesterday. I think it was 30 minutes on me about my looks, bashing me. The only person I know in this arena, because I'm not going to use that word that keeps getting destroyed here. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. The only in this arena that I know that has recorded phone calls and done like the nasty underhanded shit he's done, social situations. He's gone on about people's finances. He's everything, doxing. You know, he told everybody where I lived, or thought he did, but he actually didn't, but he thought that he did. And tell on each other. I mean, this is everything that Lee Cole has done. And you're saying it's everybody else? I mean, where have you been? Living under a rock? Haven't you seen the shit that he's done from the day he started his channel? I mean, no, let me take that back. His first, few weeks were okay. But once he got into the, drama mode, it went from there. Are you kidding me? Anyway, he said recently he saw the vile, disgusting comments Jimmy Calandra made about Lee's brother. Okay, Mob Talk Radio, you conveniently, wait a minute, forgot the vile, disgusting comments Lee made about Paulie G, about, using other family, people that have people died in their family, using their deaths for views and subs. What are you talking about? Lee and, Jimmy Calandra and Paulie G were like brothers. They were closer than Lee and his brother ever were. And I got that from a member of Lee's family. So, please, are you joking? Their relatives have to watch, when Lee's sitting up there talking about the Kaiser murder, this, that, and the third, other murders or deaths that he's talked about. Their families are also watching. So it's not just Lee. And you need to remember, Lee brought his niece into this. Well, he didn't actually bring her into it. He was doing his show, and I remember the show. She came into the chat, and he got quite emotional because none of those kids were talking to him for reasons that I've already said. But she, for some reason, must have felt bad and decided to talk to him. But, you know, she brought herself into that situation, and she's been talking plenty of shit about me. I've seen it, and I've left her alone. But, you know, hey, like Lee says, you know, Fat Bull Sicilian brought his wife into it. Any woman that, you know, comes into it deserves what she gets. And let me, before I go any further, as far as I'm concerned, I'm on here. This is my channel. You know, I've bashed Lee constantly because, you know, I have to, sometimes it's at response. Sometimes it's when I hear him talking shit, you know. Yeah, that's true. So I expect to be bashed. I don't have, you know, I don't have a problem with people coming after me. Of course, they're going to come after me if I'm saying something they don't like or whatever. But where I draw the line in the sand is when it's my race is used or sex. And Lee and Tony Pizza actually have used both. You know, when they can't think of anything else, they use my race or sex. And I don't think that's called for or necessary. Now, as far as Shanna's concerned, she hasn't done anything to anyone. She didn't deserve it at all. You know, yes, I don't think, well, you can say I deserve a bashing. Yeah, you know, I accept it because I have bashed people. So I don't expect any preferential treatment here. But I do expect, you know, when it comes to, you know, you want to argue what I'm saying or whatever, that's one thing. But when you bring my race and sex into it, referring to me in that nasty, disgusting sexual way. And by the way, Tony Pizza, I would have to be on life support, just so you know. But anyway, it's disgusting. So that's where I draw the line. And that's where I had something to say. Prior to that, I expect to get bashed, of course. You know, I'm in this arena, right? So basically, everything you said on your thing, you know, your little essay, whatever it was, is everything Lee Cole has done. You know, the hypocrisy, Lee would sell his granny for a sub or a view. So the hypocrisy of what you said makes absolutely no sense. You know, you're preaching to the choir, essentially. Okay? You know, Lee himself brought his brother into this. He used his death for subs and views. And what I said about that situation is 100% so. And if you don't believe me, not that I want everyone to go and, soak Mr. Zod's channel, but, you know, I'm sure you can message him and ask him. Just ask the guy, you know. He's even the social security number thing. Ask him. In fact, you know, he got a bill. He got a bill where he lives from Texas because his social security number was used for satellite TV. He has the bill. So if you don't believe me, ask him, you know, whatever. Now, and Mob Talk Radio, you're saying, oh, it's Jerry Springer. It wasn't that long ago. You were on a show and you were having a Jerry Springer-esque debate with Lee, and Lee called you a little bitch. Do you remember that? And remember, he was supposed to send you the paperwork, you know, the Gene Borello paperwork about him being turned in or informed on. He was supposed to email you that. Did you ever get that, by the way? I highly doubt it. We haven't heard about that since, have we? So why don't you write an essay on that, okay? And then you're telling everyone to grow up. How are you going to tell people who to platform, who to like, who not to like? You know? Who are you when you're at home? You know, it isn't about who rallied, who didn't rally. I've always said from day one that people had their reasons. And I don't really like to use the term rat. I prefer cooperate, because some people had very good reasons to cooperate. And that's how I feel about it. Now, people that don't like rats and hate and call them rats and hate rats, that's your prerogative. But it's also my prerogative to view each case individually, which is what I do. You know, somebody, if I'm looking at Sammy the Bull or Jimmy Calandra or John A. Light or Gene Borello, whoever cooperated, you know, I listen to their story. And sometimes they have bloody good reason to cooperate. And I would platform Jimmy Calandra any day of the week. Thank you very much. And I don't need you telling me or anyone else who they can platform, who they can talk about. One thing about Jimmy Calandra now, when you listen to him and he's telling his stories, he doesn't embellish. You can see that he's remorseful. You know, okay, what happened. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. But his message is for kids. His message is don't do it. And you can see the man's remorseful. I mean, talk about want your pound of flesh, you know. And he didn't actually commit the act. And the guy that did, I guess he's doing 50 years or something. I'm not sure. But, you know, come on now. He's no different from other people that, you know, have informed. Now then. Okay. So, you know, I don't know really who died and made you king. You know, you said on the thing, I'm writing this and I don't care who reads it. Well, I'm saying this and I don't give a shit who hears it. I don't. You know, that essay that you wrote is ridiculous. It's a hypocrisy. It's just stupid, because you're defending a man that has done every freaking thing that you've put on there. Everything. So there you go with that. Anyway, so now then, there's a couple of people I want to quickly address. There's some people trying to jump on this bandwagon. You know, I'm not... You can't go after everyone here that disagrees with you. I understand that. But there's a couple of people that are really getting on my tits. Okay? Number one is Army Combat Medic. Now, the reason I snapped on him the other day is because, and I you know what? I knew I wasn't crazy when I said he had more than one wrench. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I'd seen it. And somebody actually sent me a snapshot. And he was, I've only got one wrench in FBS. I've only got one wrench. Well, no, you don't. You've also got one in Gunsmokes. And I knew I'd seen more than one. And now, I don't know if Gunsmoke has taken that wrench away, but you did have one in there also. Now, my problem with you, Army Combat Medic, is this. Now, you float around here. You're in everybody's chat. You like the Scarlet Pimpernel. You seek him here, you seek him there. He's everywhere. Every single chat you go in, there you are. You're agreeing. You know, for example, let me give you an example. You could be in, I don't know, someone that, you know, doesn't like FBS. New Beginnings, you're in there a fair old bit. And you're commenting and you're essentially agreeing with him. And you've done it in several chats. I personally have seen you. And, you know, other people have. Now, I'm at work all day, so I can't be on YouTube, you know, the way everyone else is. But I am told what goes on and sent screenshots. And, you know, you're clearly in every chat. You're agreeing over here in New Beginnings. Then when I turn on FBS, there you are in there with a fucking wrench, agreeing with him. To me, that's snaky behavior. Now, it's not about whether, you know, I'm not saying you can't watch New Beginnings or you can't watch Tiny Pizza or don't watch whoever. You watch who you want. But, you know, it's snaky when you're in there agreeing with them and then you're in FBS's chat agreeing. I think that's really snaky. You float around here. Oh, you're loving. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if you did 4 years and you were typing somewhere where Mr. Dodd actually was in special forces or was in a special group, and he said clearly he didn't like his father referencing it. The real guys don't like that. Everywhere you go, that's what you're using. Let me tell you something. I worked in the with the army for several years. I went to dental school there, and I worked the dental clinic. So, I know what all that's about. Thank you very much. I'm not into dentistry now, but I will. I've worked at the London Hospital Dental School. We taught the students. I will be referencing dentistry in a little bit because, that came up today too. So I will do that. But that was with the army, darling. So, I don't like the way you do that either. That's why you put that as your name, because you want all the glory. Well, real men don't want the glory. And you've talked big shit about me, and I'm just about sick of you. Okay? So there you go with that. Now then, Lexi Johnson, I'm getting a bit sick of you too. You're always running your mouth in every chat. Let me tell you something. And it always says, why is she always going on about Lee? Why is she always going to... I see you in Lee's chat. You're always up his ass. The reason I've been going on about Lee is in response mainly to what Lee has said. If you go back and watch his videos, you will see why I go on about Lee. Okay? So that's all I have to say about that. If you want to ask me something, stop being in everybody's chat. You're not blocked from here. Hey, ask me. But I'm telling you, the reason I go on about Lee is because Lee did a 30-minute show on me the other day. I'm not going to go on about that show simply because Fatball Sicilian had that handled. I don't need to go on about it. He had it handled. Hey, Pasha. How you doing, darling? Yeah. So he had that handled. So I'm not even going to bother with that video because it was ridiculous. But anyway, that's why. I'm sick of these people jumping on the bandwagon with their 2 cents. Nobody, we don't need your 2 cents. Thank you very much. Anyway, so now then, Lee Cole and his poor old man video. Do we believe him? No, I'm not going to lie. When I watched that, how many times have we seen that? How many? I've lost count. And Lee, you don't get to do a video like you did about me the day before and then jump on and say, okay, well, I'm not doing this anymore. You don't have to do this anymore, but don't think I'm not going to react to what you did and what you've been doing for the last few months. It's just as simple as that. Now, hopefully we can live in hope that you stick to your word and do something, go in another direction, whatever. That should have been done several months ago, actually. I think I took my channel down because of you, really. I stopped bashing you, but you couldn't stop bashing me, could you? So do I believe that Lee is turning a new leaf? No, not really. Not really. I'll be surprised. But, the proof is in the pudding. Time will tell. However, it may be too late, Lee, because I know definitely you've been struck at least 5 times this week. You've been struck for sure. And your son has also contacted YouTube about this situation with you using his, social, because he can't monetize because of you. And that to be true. So, that's it. So if you do go on, great. If you don't, oh, well, I guess, it'll be whatever it is. Now then, what's the other thing? Mob show reports, Al. Now, I'm not getting embroiled in this shit that's going on right now. I don't really know what it's about. I caught a bit of it this evening before I came on. That Al can handle himself. He's very capable. I know he had a couple of problems this weekend, and he'll explain it to you when he's ready. You know, if he even wants to. It's not for me to explain, but I know he had a couple of difficulties this weekend, and you know, it went where it went. So people that are accusing me of putting him up to shit, fuck off. Okay, it has nothing to do with me, not at all. So he'll explain himself when he's good and ready, when he's ready to get back to normal and do his shows. He's had a couple of setbacks, and you know what they are. It's not for me to say, it's for him, you know. But Al, you know, I love Al. I think he does tell it like it is most of the time. I think you know, there may have been a misunderstanding here. I'm not sure. In fact, I'm not talking about it anymore because I don't really know the ins and outs. I haven't actually spoken to Al, so I don't know really what happened. I just caught bits of it. I worked all day. I got in to do this. So, you know, I didn't really have time to catch up on it. But, you know, whatever it is going on, you assholes out there trying to throw me in it, don't bother. It has nothing to do with me, okay? Now then, next thing. Tony Pizza and Tom. Right, so I guess Tony Pizza said yesterday that Tom Levesque had paid for his hotel room. Now, here's the thing. I honestly think Tom Levesque really was trying to help him, as we all were. We all were. You know, and I think when I first heard it, it kind of made me think, wait a minute, you know, by doing that, you're kind of condoning the way Tony Pizza has, you know, with his racial slurs and sexist shit that he's been saying, you're kind of condoning that. But when I thought about it, I think he's just a decent guy. He promised him to help him, and I guess he wanted to follow through with that. Now, that's what I think. I don't think there was any malintent there. And again, it's the same like with Mob Talk Radio. You can't tell people who to be friends with or not be friends with. You know, it doesn't mean that because they like them or whatever that they're against you. It doesn't mean that. But when you see it written in the chat and, you know, you see that type of shit, that's a different thing. But I think Tom Levesque really tried to help Tony Pizza. And quite honestly, Tom, I think your money would be better spent and on a new set of dentures for him. He was saying today his dentures are 15 years old. I've never heard of such a thing. Oh my God. You know, his gums are so receded. And what happens is, you know, they become so ill-fitting. I guess he must be using like a ton of that grip stuff. And, you know, they start to rub, they make his gums sore. It's not a healthy situation to have 15-year-old dentures. You're supposed to change them every 2 or 3 years, not 15 years. Now, I know there are places where they do dentures in a day fairly cheaply. So I think your money might be better spent on that. It'll restore his smile, help him eat, because nutrition-wise, you know, that's why he eats that in that way. You know, he needs seriously a new set of dentures for sure. And, you know, I think you might encourage him maybe to go to the doctor and get some medication because, you know, I'm 100% sure he's been diagnosed as bipolar, probably other things going on there. And he refuses to take his medication, apparently. Maybe he can't afford the medication. But there were ways around that. but it would stabilize his mood because I see him up, he's down, he's up, he's down. And this isn't in defense of him. I think he's really been disgusting about me. But I do see an illness there. So I can't, you know, it'd be like bashing a baby, you know, I can't. But what I see there is because he's that way, keeping a job for him would be virtually impossible, nigh on impossible. It would, you know. So I don't know if he needs to sign up for something. I mean, they've got all kinds of programs. I know he doesn't want to do any of that, but maybe, you know, if you're trying to help him, that might be another direction to go in. Anyway, that's all I have to talk about for now. I'll go to the chat a little bit. Let's see. Boston Red. So he had no teeth at age 40. Yeah, you know, that happens. Sure does. You know. Wise Guy TV. I know a kid who got full dentures at 24 and another one at 30. Yeah, a lot of younger kids, you know, well, they're not young kids, but, you know, younger people do end up with dentures, even with illness, you know, drug addicts especially, you know, meth and stuff knocks your teeth out right away. I know a lot of younger people with dentures, and I fitted a lot of younger people with dentures. I'm no longer in the dental field. Did you hear Al say he'd destroy MRE? Yes. What happened? I caught a bit of it this morning before I went to work. Well, I don't think did he say he was going to destroy him? I've got to go back and watch the thing. I'm not going to comment on it. Really, I shouldn't comment when I haven't really seen it. I thought I heard him, possibly. I have to look at it again. Okay. Okay. Did he lose from rot or fight? Probably both. Drop a link. Who am I dropping a link for? Miss Can't Be Wrong. Emanuela Spatado Martini. Yes, my darling, shaken and not stirred. Let's see. No, I like Al, but he shouldn't be getting on wasted. You know what? He did tell me that. He said that he got a bit hammered. I think he was at the races or something. And he did say he got a bit hammered. So, yeah, and I think he blocked some people without... Wise Guy San Antonio sending blessings. Chocker. When you do coke, your teeth rot out at age 20. Yeah, I mean, any type of drug, meth, whatever. Trey, I'm going to pray for Al. Yeah, I mean, you know, I need to actually really talk to him. I haven't spoken to him. So, you know, I don't really know the whole situation of what's going on. He did tell me on Saturday that he was at the races and got hammered, and I guess he did a show, but, you know, I need to sit down and look at it properly. And I guess, you know, I don't know. Tony the Chooch was who I was talking about. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Dime bag. The Gavanos are aware of Tony's. Okay. How do you know that? I mean, you know, they should be. And, you know, like I said, see, in Tony's mind, he's thinking he's talking specifically to me, which he is. However, he thinks that way. And so, you know, you can't say that to somebody and then say, oh, I've got black friends. Or no, that doesn't mean you. I'm just talking about this one. Because that's how he thinks, you know. So I'm pretty sure Sammy Gravano does know and should know. And I, you know, and I hope he does something. Well, not that he does something about it. I don't mean it in that way. But, you know, I hope he doesn't co-sign that shit. I sure don't. Talk more about Lee Cole's dirt you brought up. Well, I mean, the thing about it is, you know, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna cut Lee some slack here. You know, he said he's not gonna do it anymore. I'm gonna let him not do it anymore. You know, if he brings me up again, starts talking shit about me again, I've told him this over and over and over. I can do a show once a week if necessary. You know, that isn't the direction I want to go in. That is not what I want to do. But every time he comes at me, I'm coming back at you. So that's just the way it is. Now, he said yesterday that he's, you know, doing something else or crime shows or something. I can't even remember because I watched it. You know, I caught bits of it. I had to get back to work. But if he keeps to his word, then, you know, I'm happy to let him do that. You know, I'm not going to bash him. I'm not going to bring up anything else. And, you know, unless he comes at me. And if he does, then here we go again. Right. Mob is very, hang on, what is it? Okay. All right, hold on. Let me drop a link. Oh, God, I'm sorry, people. I'm horrible with this. I will get there eventually. Copy. Okay. Okay, the link is there. Yes, please hit the like and subscribe and notification bell, and all donations to my channel are much appreciated. I think I need to buy a microphone. I'm not sure really, because it sounds all right to me, but does it sound all right to you all? I don't know. Somebody said I need a microphone. You said you know who runs that channel, but you show no proof. What channel are you talking about? Are you talking about New Beginnings channel? That's Lee's daughter. You know, I'm not going to put shit up now. You know, it's done with, as far as I'm concerned. I know who runs that channel, and I think Tony Pizza said, you know, Tanya from Bold Crimes is running it. I think she helps with it. You know, I don't doubt that, but it wasn't her from the beginning. It's the daughter. I know that for a fact. So whatever. Greg Jenner. Why don't you ask Lee to prove his shit? How about that? Go over there and ask him to prove half of the shit he said. He said my ex emailed him. Where's the proof? Anyone can email him. But I will tell you this. If my ex did email his ass, it was to pick up a new TV that he was going to get for free. And you know what that means. So you can go back over there. Please get rid of Greg Jenner, somebody. He's full of shit. I mind someone else's business. Jeff Carnesi is the OG of this genre. Yeah, and he may be, but that doesn't mean he knows everything, does it? No, I mean, you know, from what I understand, he wasn't a street guy either. what he knows. I'm not saying he's not knowledgeable. It's like, what's his face? Jeff Nadu. They're very knowledgeable, but it isn't because they were physically there and doing this stuff. It's like, I'm very knowledgeable about Henry VIII. I wasn't there then, but I'm very knowledgeable about him, his life, his wives, how they died, why they died. I'm very knowledgeable. Thank you for regulating all the psycho. I mean, it is. It's ridiculous. Jimmy Calandra, even John Alite. People don't like them, especially John Alite, even Jean Borello. But the thing is, they lived the life. They actually were doing it. Maybe, we know some of it was embellished. Not Jimmy Calandra, but, Jean Borello has said, yeah, we might embellish a bit. We know John Alite has embellished. But the fact of the matter is, he still was in the streets doing what he's doing. All of us up here talking about it didn't. So that's my point. Anyway. Oh, what happened, Miss Can't Be Wrong? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. I get too far up with myself. Anyway, let's see. The legend that is the pioneer, Mob Talk Radio. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's, I haven't heard him. I haven't looked at his stuff. Every blue moon, I'll see something that he's written. And the week before, what he wrote, I liked. I thought it really made a lot of sense, But this, what he wrote, defending Lee Cole, no, because everything he wrote there is everything Lee has done. And you can sit there and say, well, two rights don't make a wrong, which they don't. Two rights don't make a wrong, which they don't. That's true. Hang on. Or two wrongs don't make a right. Let me say that again. Two wrongs don't make a right. But that's easier said than done. When you're on the receiving end of it, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Anyway, how do you think? Look, can somebody just get rid of Greg Jenner? He's just trying to create a problem. There is no problem. I didn't say Tanya was involved in anything. Tony Pizza said, go to Tony Pizza's video and you will see Tony Pizza said that Tanya runs New Beginnings. He said that this morning. Okay, open your ear rolls. Okay, so this is Jeff Carnesi. Hold on one second. Hello.
Hello, Josie. How are you?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
All right. So I heard what you had to say, and I can appreciate, your opinion on it. And I think that while it's fair for you to have whatever opinion you want, there's a lot of things that I did say in that. And I think the point I was trying to make was, regardless of what Lee has done or any of these other people, anybody talking about anybody that's been killed, it's not right. And I'm not defending Lee or his actions, and I think he knows that. But it's reaching the point now where you have people that are making fun of dead relatives. And from my perspective, that's just bottom of the barrel. You just don't do things like that. And I think, in being fairness to what I did say, there were some things you didn't mention that I did say. And I can understand that you have a different perspective on Jimmy Calandra than I do. And that's okay. That's acceptable to me. But I'm not defending Lee Cole's actions. I don't like what he's done to you. I don't like what he's done to a lot of people. But I think when you're talking about somebody like Tom Cole, who is his brother, that isn't a criminal, okay, has never done anything against you, me, or anybody else, once you kind of reach that level of it, it gets a little ugly. And I think that everybody just needs to be better off. I'm not saying him saying anything about Paulie G was right. But what I'm saying is, you don't fix the solution by doubling down and making fun of anybody that's dead. You don't see me doing that anywhere. That's just not my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. As far as making fun of anybody that's died. I mean, where I'm from, you don't speak ill of the dead. But, as far as it did sound, I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't read out the whole thing. And everybody go look, you read it for yourselves, of course. Those were just a couple of things I picked up on because I just feel like, look, Lee Cole has used several deaths for subs and views. And he really, really went after Jimmy Calandra as far as the Paulie Galino thing. Now,
I agree with you. I won't disagree there.
When his brother, when I brought up the brother, the reason I brought up the brother is because, I was told by, the family member that, and it wasn't anyone, I didn't go digging him up. He approached me, he came to me. And so, the fact is that Lee sits up there and, makes these, oh, my brother, when really this, I'm not going to go into it again. I'm not going to drag it up again. But the whole situation with the brother was very different from the situation that Lee is portraying on here, and so that's where.
Well,
I wasn't making fun of him.
That can very well be the issue. And I'm obviously not privy to any of this stuff that goes on because what I do is very different than what everybody else does on YouTube. No. But I think my perspective was just everybody should cut the shit. And if they don't want to get along, that's fine. But once you start hurling, well, this one's dead and that's one's dead. I mean, at what point, like if you do content, right? I don't think I've ever seen you ever say anything horrible about somebody that either wasn't backed up by proof or backed up by emails or anything else. And I don't understand. And I'm not saying Lee was right in what he did. He's not. But at the same point, it's reaching a point where it's not content, it's Jerry Springer.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I think, what Lee did yesterday is probably a good thing. I'm hoping that we can believe him because we've seen this several times before, and but I'm hoping that, we can move on now. Well, as far as him and I are concerned, I'm happy to move along.
Well, I think everybody'd like to. And the only other point I want to bring up, because I appreciate you having me on. You didn't have to do that.
Oh, no, I'd like to hear your perspective.
Well, like I'll give you a good example of what I'm talking about. I don't know who Tony Pizza is at all. I'm not involved in any of this. But the guys, whether or not he says awful things, I get that. And I understand that that's a horrible thing to do. Oh, God, yeah. But if you look at the way it's coming back, oh, you're homeless, you have no teeth, you have no life. Yeah. At what point are you no longer having a valid argument? Like if you want to argue, like if I said something and you called me out today because you thought I said a certain thing. So I call you up and we talk about it like adults. Right. It's like they lose the argument when they get into the name calling stuff. It's just.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with that. When he was hurling all this abuse at me, I did get angry a few times, but on reflection, when I really think about him, I think there's, an illness going on there, number one. I think some of this money could have gone to, I said that tonight before you even said that, he definitely needs new dentures. There are other ways perhaps to help him than the way it's been going. I mean, when you take a crap live and you've got people cheering you on, I mean, I don't know what to say.
Some people need a hand up, not a handout.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think Tom Levesque, I think he was really trying to help him. People are angry at Tom because he paid for his hotel room, but I'm not. I think he was trying to help him. At first I was thinking, oh, it sounds like he's condoning, but when you think about it, Tony really needs help. He needs medical help and also financial and a home and stuff like that. But having said that, he then says, well, I don't want to be tied down. I want to be free. He might just be a nomad, but I do think he needs to be stabilized for sure.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, if Tom helped the guy, then why can anybody get mad at Tom for that? He's trying to do the right thing.
Right.
And the last time I checked, when you check with yourself about why you do things, if you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, then it's not wrong. It could be the wrong person, but it doesn't. It's a wrong thing to do.
Right. I mean, I sent him $60. I don't, regret it, because I was thinking I'm helping him, but that went left. But in any event, looking at it, in the cold light of day, I think he does need a lot of help. I think Tom was really trying to help him. And, I think people might want to, when they're watching, he's being G'd on by these idiots. I mean, he's peeing in bottles. He's acting crazy, really, and people are G'ing him on and sending him money. And until that kind of dies down, or he finally, I don't know if it's ever going to come to him where he's going to say, okay, well, I need some real help here. I don't know. But, I'm not mad at Tom Levesque for that.
Well, like I said, I just wanted to call in or whatever, because I cannot, and I will not defend anybody saying racist shit to you or to anybody else. It's not the way I was raised. So I'm not forgiving anything that Lee might have done. I was just trying to say, if two people don't like each other, keep it about, I don't like Lee, Jimmy, I don't like you. Keep it about that. And it just keep relatives, friends, and loved ones out of the mess. Because what happens is, I've been doing this over a decade. I make a good living doing this. And at one point when I started, I was much like what I see right now. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say I never did it, because God knows I did. But it also reaches a point where people who do support you are going to stop watching. And it's all about longevity. And like, the one thing I got to say is, where's the content? Give me content. I'm a listener. I want content. All of this fighting and all the name calling and the dead relatives. Yeah. Like, at some point, I just hope some people wake up, because there are people that do have talent, and they're wasting it on people that, I don't understand it. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I feel I'm doing. I've been distracted for weeks of doing, it's not enjoyable. I mean, you wake up every morning, it's like, oh God, here we go again. What's he said today? And it's like a constant thing. But I'm just hoping what he said yesterday, he sticks to. As far as I'm concerned, it'll be done. And I hope that's what he sticks to. And, let's move on.
Well, and if he doesn't,
else, I don't know.
And if he doesn't, then you have decisions you have to make. But I understand how you feel, and I want to make this clear, because people every day on Instagram put pictures of me up with children saying I'm a pedophile. I deal with that every day, and Gene Borello was behind that.
Okay.
So if people want to understand why I get so, I can have a disagreement about, what I think about informants. But when I see them doing that to me, or when they call and harass my family on the phone, that sort of changes my narrative. And that's all. That's all. Like, I respect your opinion. And like I said, I appreciate you having me on and at least discussing it with me, because that is more than 90% of the other people will do.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I'm going to take a look at your channel, actually. It's because I don't get to see a lot of it. So I'm going to take a look and have a listen.
Well, the old stuff is pretty scream-worthy, so you'll enjoy that.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming on.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so we'll have a quick few questions, and then I better go. Josie, you know the better than that. Lee won't be quiet for long. That's what I thought, to be honest. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I don't know. Hey, Stacks. He says, I have a lot coming soon on his show. Yeah. Make sure you sub and like Stacks' show. I'm sorry, Stack. Can any of you moderators get their, what is it? Their links and drop them in the chat or something? So, I still haven't worked that out yet. Josie, is there winning? They would give advice. Okay, I don't know. Don't Gamble says, Josie, don't gamble with those guys. If they were winning, they wouldn't be giving advice on YouTube. They would be just going to the window themselves. Okay, K-Mac. Oh, who's my admirer? Okay. Good night, Shinebox. Thank you for being here. Oh, yeah, sub to, there we go. Sub to Wise Guy TV. Yes, I love your show, Wise Guy. I'm hoping to get, in your live at some point. Eventually, I will. Hey, Tracy. Trucker. Okay. All right. Well, listen, guys, I better get off. I'm going to do something over the weekend. I've got a long weekend this weekend, thank goodness. And what's that? Wait a minute. I don't know what that is. But anyway, yeah, so I've got a long weekend this weekend, thank goodness. I'll be able to have a little lie in. But everyone have a good night. Thank you, Mob Talk Radio, for coming on. Please sub to his channel, and I'm going to have a look later, actually. Seems like a nice guy. And hey, and Lee, I hope you stick to what you say. I intend to draw a line under it, hopefully. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Take care. Bye.